Hey guys, hello everyone. Long time no see. My heart aches because of it. I've missed you so much. Today, in the first part of the video, we'll talk about altcoins, layer 2s, what has made us happy lately, and also what I've been buying recently. In the second part of the video, we'll talk about digital gold, whose price has been shaky lately. As always, the video will be interesting, positive, and useful. Right now, smash that big fat huge like in advance, and we'll get started. So, guys, since our last video, Gaipo has already made us happy. The very recommendation I gave in that video back in October. As they say, it hasn't even been half a year. It's only been about 10 days, and Gaipo has already done about 7 times growth. All in all, in a market like this, I think that's a big win. Personally, I wrote in my Telegram channel that I locked in a significant portion of my coins at that time, because these days, if some altcoins or meme coins are pumping against the market, it doesn't hurt to protect your profits. Experience shows that the market often ends up swallowing all those gains later. And basically, when I was locking in Gaipo, I caught myself thinking, damn, what if this is the one that takes off and keeps multiplying? And of course, it'll give me a bit of FOMO. So I left a small portion of the coins, went to bed, and got myself so worked up at night that I even dreamed that as soon as I checked my Gaipo balance, it had multiplied tenfold from the amount I had locked in. Basically, I woke up in a cold sweat, immediately grabbed my phone and checked the balance. Well, it's a good thing it was just a dream, because Gaipo stayed at the same values I had locked in at during the night. Basically, it held at those values for about a week, and then crashed by around 70% in just one day. Just think about those numbers for a second. These are the realities of the crypto Wild West. So I opened a position in Gaipo again. I even bought more coins than I had before. I think the risk here is super reasonable, so for those who got in, you can re-enter Gaipo accordingly. But if you don't have a position yet, you can open one now. There are 2 scenarios here. The negative one is if the admins cashed out during the pump, they just don't need the coin anymore and they'll let it float freely. But honestly, that doesn't seem very likely, because if you check the chat, it's super active, the admins are active, there's always some kind of dialogue, communication, and even Twitter raids going on. That's why I still hope that this is another accumulation zone, after which we'll fly back to the levels we've already traded at. Basically, that's the picture I've painted in my imagination. I'll be hoping that it becomes reality soon. The second coin in the conspiracy theory series is called Ironfish. We bought it before at some point, and there was even some growth with it. After that, the coin literally sank to the bottom to feed those very fish. It dropped to about 10 cents, after which it recovered a little. And now there's some interesting information about it. This year they switched to the Base blockchain. And just recently, information appeared on Twitter from Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong that they acquired the Ironfish team and are now working together on some kind of private transactions. After that, I noticed that overall there have been some pumps in Ironfish recently, 50%, 80% in a day, as if someone is accumulating the coins. So I have the following thoughts. It's possible that in the future we might see this coin listed on the Coinbase exchange. Well, if that happens, the coin will definitely shoot to the moon. But if it doesn't happen, it might just keep drifting along in a semi-scam state. So there's an increased risk here. But at the same time, there are currently some signs that a positive scenario could play out here. That's why I'm gradually buying more Ironfish. There aren't any large volumes for it on the exchange, so you have to buy in parts and accordingly use limit orders and wait until your position is filled. I decided to mention the third coin spontaneously in this video since I've increased my position in it. It's called Port 3. There was a negative incident with it, but I liked how the admins handled it. Basically, some hacker broke in, minted a sextillion coins, and tried to dump them on the market. In response, the exchanges suspended trading. The admins quickly changed the contract and somehow managed to recover the losses. So basically, people who had money on the exchange didn't suffer any losses, except that the price crashed even further. As for Port 3, I personally took some profits when it recently went up, but I kept part of my position. And now I've decided to buy more, because we've just seen a record low. But often that's exactly what happens after such events. But what I liked here is that both Bybit and now other exchanges are resuming trading, though the market cap is basically peanuts. Overall, Port 3 is also high risk, but considering the active community and the admin's ongoing work, it doesn't look like the admins cashed out at some point. So Maybe they're interested in the project for the long run. The fourth, fifth, and sixth coins are from our good old altcoins, in which I also decided to increase my position after GIPO shot up, and I decided to rebalance my profit into other projects. The largest amount, so to speak, of what I earned, I put into Aptos because for some reason I believe in it. It has pleased us before. Next is Valuta, which is the former EOS. Overall, I don't see any community providing information about this coin, as if everyone gave up on it a long time ago. Whether it turns out to be a sleeping giant or a sleeping scam, only time will tell. But in my opinion, the fact that they rebranded from EOS to Valuta probably wasn't for nothing, considering that they're trading at a record low, and before that they raised absolutely massive amounts, and it was one of the loudest events at the time back in the day. I still have hope that something could happen here. And the last coin is Starknet, currently the most active Layer 2 project, which in turn is working on some new developments in the field of privacy. Yes, the trend that Zcash has set right now, and in turn there are even some related teams involved there. Overall, Starknet has grown about 2 times from its bottom recently, but then, as expected, the market pulled it back down and Starknet returned to those very bottom levels, at which point I decided to increase my position. To sum up, these days the word alt season makes some people smile, while others even feel like throwing up, but not me and hopefully not my community either, because wins like Apex, over 10 times returns, and Hypo, 7 times returns of course. They provide the fuel to keep waiting for that long-awaited global market growth. And in turn, it gives you the opportunity to rebalance your profits into other coins and keep accumulating those tokens that are hard to look at without tears right now, so that you can earn even more in the future. Personally, I don't know the future, but I'm putting my money on the fact that growth will come. I'm ready to wait as long as it takes. In any case, you shouldn't forget that the cryptocurrency market is a high-risk investment, and you should only put in what you can afford to lose, or at least freeze for a long period of time. Let's move on to the second part of the video, namely our favorite digital gold, Bitcoin, whose price has just recently taken a tumble. People have already started shouting, "It's all over." Satoshi Nakamoto's wallets have started moving, because there's still something going on there. BlackRock is selling its Bitcoins. Michael Saylor is sitting in a lifeboat. Oh no, it's all lost. In my opinion, guys, it's long past time to step back from all this information noise and take a more global look at the bigger picture. In my view, Bitcoin has already made its main move in this cycle, and it's time to shift your focus from Bitcoin to altcoins. And in turn, I believe that in this cycle, we might see altcoins move when Bitcoin is more or less staying in the same place, or even dropping a little. Because for altcoins, how much further can they really fall? They've already hit like the 11th bottom as a bonus. Well, let's hope we don't make it to the 20th. But if we do end up there, what does that mean? Well, it's just another opportunity to buy more and get ready for growth. Overall, I'm feeling completely positive. Another positive factor for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general could be the stimulus checks from the US, which they plan to distribute in 2026. I think the amount mentioned is $2,000 per adult. Let me remind you, the last time such a move happened was during the Corona crisis. Back then, Americans were given $1,200 each. And there were statistics showing that many people sent part or even all of that amount into the crypto market through the Coinbase exchange. Now, in turn, similar measures are planned for us as early as next year. I also saw information that Japan and China are planning some stimulus packages for their citizens as well. All in all, I hope we're already at some kind of peak point of depression and disappointment, and that very soon we'll finally bounce off this bottom and shoot to the moon. That's exactly what I wish for each of you. Don't forget, friends, as they say, we're on the Titanic. No need to panic, everything will go as it should. So guys, leave your feedback in the comments. What did you think of this video? And was it useful for you? Write what you think about the coins I mentioned. Will they follow the example of Hypo Hippopo and shoot to the moon? Or maybe crash to the bottom? I'm really interested to read your opinions. If you liked the video and found it useful, give it a big like, subscribe, and hit the bell. There are links to my useful Telegram channels in the description. You definitely need to be there. Thank you all so much for watching. Love you all, hugs. Take care. Bye.